of a different video. So as you can see by the title, today's video is going to be my favorite adult books. Now, I know this channel is primarily YA because I read primarily YA. I'm an adult, so I do like some adult books. I will say I just love young adult books. That's obvious, this is a given. But I thought in this video I'd show you some of my favorite adult books that I have read. And yeah, hopefully I can pass on some recommendations, or you can pass on some recommendations, that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's talk about my favorite adult books. First, start with my three most favorite adult authors, honestly, and then I'm going to talk about just random kind of adult reads I've read. So yeah, so don't be shocked if it's not a lot. You're like, that's it. Like I said, I like reading YA. What can I say? First author I want to talk about is Jodi Picoult. Is that how you say her name? I know it's like weird. Picoult? I don't know. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, so forgive me. But I love Jodi Picoult. I actually discovered her when I was in high school, and the first book I read by her was... No, what was it? The first book I read by her was Vanishing Acts, I believe, and I don't own that, but I read it and I liked it. And then I think I read My Sister's Keeper, which is an amazing book, but it is about cancer. It's about two sisters that one of them is very sick and the other one is not, and it's a very, very, very sad book, so know that before going into it. And I do know they made a movie about it, but I have not watched the movie because I know they changed the ending of it, like they changed the book ending in the movie, which I was like, why? But yeah, I do love this book. My number one favorite Jodi Picoult novel I actually don't own, and that is 19 Minutes. That is amazing. It's about a school shooting, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long time since I read it, but I love it. So another one of my favorites is The Pact. This one is about a couple. It's like teenager ones. It's about a teenager couple and something happens. Forgive me on the details of these. It's been a long time since I have read them, so I'm not too quite sure if I'm 100% right on these, but I love this one. And then my other favorite of hers is The 10th Circle, which I think they've made a Lifetime movie about. So yeah, I recommend any of her books. I haven't read all of them. The only books of Jodi Picoult I've read, like I said, are Vanishing Act, My Sister's Keeper, The 10th Circle, The Pact, 19 Minutes, and Picture Perfect. So those are the only ones I've read. All of Jodi Picoult's novels, but I plan to one day. Some of them, I think a lot of Jodi Picoult are like kind of court-related things, maybe. But yeah, I highly recommend Jodi Picoult. I think she's an amazing author. Next up, we have Nicolas Sparks. That's right, I read Nicolas Sparks. Now, Nicolas Sparks, I have a love-hate relationship with his writing because I feel like almost with every Nicolas Sparks book I read, there's like something tragic that happens at the end, and sometimes I'm like, oh, it almost follows the same kind of formula for his books. So there's some books of his I love, and some books of his I don't really like, but I do like quite a few. I would say my favorite Nicolas Sparks, I'm being completely honest, is going to be Safe Haven. And the reason for that is because this is the first Nicolas Sparks books I've read where it was kind of different than his usual ones. Like, it was a different take and everything like that. And I read this because the movie was coming out, and I've yet to see the movie still. I'm really bad about that. Like, I read the books, plan to see the movies, and then I never see the movies. What's up with that? Anyways, this is about a girl who, she's in an abusive relationship with her husband, and she flees, and she's under a different alias, and she meets a different guy, and all that kind of stuff. So this is an amazing book. I highly love this book. I think it was, like I said, different. Another one of my favorite Nicolas Sparks books is The Last Song. I love that book. Despise the movie, I will say. If you like the movie, that's awesome. I do not like it, but the book was amazing. And also like The Wedding. I have read The Notebook and The Wedding, but if I dare to say it, I like The Wedding a little bit more. The other books I have read by Nicolas Sparks is, like I said, The Wedding, The Guardian, and Nights in Rodanthe. So I haven't read all of Nicolas Sparks either, because sometimes I read the back of them and I'm like, whatever. Oh, I also have read, what's that other one that just came out? Had Zac Efron in it. The Lucky One? What was it called? Oh, crap. I read that one. That was a pretty good one, too, but those three are my favorite. My favorite adult author I'm going to talk about before I talk into, like, single books is going to be my girl, Sophie Kinsella. I love Sophie Kinsella. Hands down, she is my favorite chick lit author. Love it. So I'd say if you are a fan of YA and like contemporary reads, please read Sophie Kinsella. They're adult books, but they're just chick lit, and they're amazing. My all-time favorite Sophie Kinsella novel, should come as no surprise, is I've Got Your Number. I am obsessed with this book. I originally I think when the booktubeathon happened, or maybe it was before then, but I decided to listen to it via audio, and I loved listening to it via audiobook. It was amazing, amazing. And so I haven't read the physical copy, but I know the book is just as amazing as the audiobook. But I love this book. So this is my favorite Sophie Kinsella novel. It's about a girl who loses her engagement ring, and then a whole bunch of misfortune happens, and she finds her somebody's cell phone, and she starts talking, and I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it is an amazing book. I highly recommend Sophie Kinsella's. I never love it. Another one of Sophie Kinsella's that I love is the Shopaholic series. I love that. I've also listened to the first one audiobook, and I haven't read the whole series yet. I've only read the first 3, I want to say. The Shopaholic series is amazing. It's about a girl named Becky who is a shopaholic. You know, she can't not swipe her credit card. And it's all about that. I think the first one's called, Confessions of a Shopaholic. Then I think it's Shopaholic Takes Manhattan. Then it's Shopaholic Gets Married. Then Shopaholic and Sister. Shopaholic and Baby. Stuff like that. But I love the Shopaholic series. My other favorite Sophie Kinsella novel is Can You Keep a Secret? Love that. I think I've read all of Sophie Kinsella's books. No, I haven't. I've read The Wedding Night, which is her latest release, which I gotta say is my least favorite of hers. I have a review on it. You can click the book to go visit it, but I didn't love this one. And I've also read The Undomestic Goddess, which was good. And I think the only one I haven't read, other than finishing the Shopaholic series, is 20s Girls, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, like I said, Sophie Kinsella is like a drug to me. Like, give me more Sophie Kinsella books. I need to devour them all. I love them. Now let's talk about singular books by authors. These are books that I've only really read one book by this particular author. First one I'll talk about is The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I read this, get ready for this, when I was 14. I don't know what on earth drove me to read this. It's an amazing book, don't get me wrong, but I read this, I think, a little bit too young, because this book is quite graphic on certain scenes. But I was immediately drawn to it, and I love the book. I still love it. I will never reread it again, because it is a sad, make you want to cry everywhere kind of book. About a girl that she dies. I won't tell you how or when, but I'm sure you can guess if you've seen the movie preview, which guess what? Still haven't seen the movie. And it's kind of her. She's not in heaven, nor is she like completely, she's like in the middle almost. So she's watching her family go through this whole ordeal, trying to figure out what happened to her, why she died, what caused it, and she's watching her family, how they are coping with her after her death. And it is an amazing read. This book I'm actually lending out is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Amazing. I think I read this last year, and I just can't get enough of it. If you are a gamer, if you like the 80s, if you like both, you need to read this book. This book is all about like a futuristic world where there's this game, and you're living pretty much inside the game. Like, it's an amazing book. It's got it's a ton of 80s references and just gaming things, and it is an amazing adult book. I think if you're young, I think you're totally okay to read this. I get a lot of questions like, I'm 15, get a Ready Player One. Totally, go ahead. It is awesome. Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. I read this one primarily for the movie coming out, because I was really interested to see the movie, and I love the book. It is an amazing book. Silver Linings Playbook is about a guy named Pat who has a kind of mental disability, and he's coming back home, and it's all about his situation with his family and his life and all that kind of stuff. It's an amazing book. Definitely check it out. Next book, I feel like I don't have any of these books in my library anymore. I don't know where they're at. Is Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein. I've talked about this several times. This is an amazing book, especially if you are a dog lover. Please read this book. This book takes place from the point of view of said dog, and it is amazing. It made me cry, and that's very rare for a book to make me cry, because a lot of books don't make me cry, but it was an amazing book. Definitely for dog lovers. I love it so much. The next book is The Whole Golden World by Christina Riggle, and I actually picked this one up on a whim because of the cover. Like, the cover is gorgeous. I love these like kind of fairy bokeh lights. I love it. Anyway, this book takes place from 3 points of view. It's all about a student-teacher relationship, kind of an affair kind of thing, and it takes place from the point of view of the student that has the relationship with her teacher, the teacher's wife, and the student's mom. This is an amazing book. I don't think it has too many good reviews on Goodreads, but I really enjoyed it because I liked reading the different perspectives of the situation instead of reading it from one point of view. You know, you get that one side and that's it. It's 3 sides, and I thought it was awesome. The last author I want to talk about is Rowell. And this book is Attachments. Now, Rowell writes YA and adult, which is awesome for me because I love them both. This is her first adult book, and that one's coming out next week, I believe, and that is Landline by Rowell, obviously. This is another adult book of hers. I haven't read this yet, but I'm reading it as soon as July hits, believe you me. But yeah, these are her 2 adult ones. I love this one. It's about a guy whose job is like to read the emails and stuff in a company, and he falls in love with one of the girls of the emails he's reading, and it's just an amazing one. And this one is about a married couple who, I think the phone or something, she can travel back in time with phone. I don't know. It's got Rowell written on it. I will read the mess out of it. Okay, that is all the adult books I want to recommend to you. That was quite a lot. I said there wasn't a lot, but I think there was. There's a lot to choose from. Anyway, if you read a lot of adult books, please let me know in the comments what are some of your favorites. I would love recommendations. I need to read more adult. I want to, actually. I really want to read more adult. And yeah, so yeah, let's talk about it. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.